The biggest mistake that founders make when it comes to video is they don't do video. I see this especially a lot on LinkedIn because the numbers can skew you towards not doing video. People come to me and they're like, my polls, my text posts, my carousels can get more impressions compared to video on LinkedIn. And that may be true. But when it comes to the back end data, if you have a consultation form, or especially if you talk to your clients one on one and ask them, hey, when did you first see me on LinkedIn? Why did you book the consultation? Usually, the tipping point, the accelerator to trust is video. And so, what we've seen is that if you're creating content on LinkedIn, that's great. But if you actually want to convert some connections into clients, then video is that tipping point a lot of the time. That would be the first mistake. What do you think about that mistake? Not doing video, Shankar.
Well, I agree so much with that. And let me tell you, on my agency side, we manage hundreds of thousands of dollars in trying to get traffic to accounts or websites, right? And the most efficient method, hands down, is getting company owners to step in front of the camera and talk about themselves and sometimes about their business. It's just that most people won't do it. But this here is all about empowering you to take a little bit of time. It doesn't have to be much, and invest that into your personal brand. You'll be so happy you did it.
The second biggest mistake that people make when it comes to video, which is saying, oh, I don't have time to do video. Let's talk about the time aspect of it. When it comes to founders, they are extremely busy. They're building their businesses. Some of them are parents, so they're taking care of children. I understand the struggle. Some of them are caretaking for their parents, and some of them are doing both. I know founders that are taking care of children and caretaking for their parents or their grandparents, running a business. It could be a lot. But what would you say is the minimum amount of time that they need when it comes to video?
I would set aside half an hour per day. As business owners and founders, entrepreneurs, if it's not on your calendar, it won't happen.
Progress is more important than perfection. And sometimes it's that video where you have that pimple, you have that blemish, you say you stumble over your words that gets the most traction and gets you the most business compared to super edited videos where you seem like a cookie cutter of everyone else.
That's so true, Shanae. I've had 4 videos that went viral in my life, and all 4 of them were non-edited. They just were in the moment talking about something which is either entertaining or of value. And that's what people are looking for. They want to have a connection, learn, or be entertained.
And when you're yourself, you're leveraging your greatest asset, your unique experiences, the way that you talk, your accent, the way you look at the camera. That's not duplicable. What about they don't think long term? 1 or 3 videos, and then they stop for a month, then they do another one. It's not having the mindset that this is being used as leverage for business and this is a long term thing. You do it every day. So, what would you say about that mindset?
As with everything in life and in business, people often decide to work with you because they can relate to you and trust you. And if you think about it, in the component of trust, there is this built in sense of duration, of longevity, of continuity. Just like you wouldn't trust someone with something that you cherish after having met them for the first time, it's the same in business. By being consistent with these videos, you give yourself and your business and your community a huge gift. To yourself, you learn a new skill, you prove that you can be consistent. To your community, you share that valuable information that you have. And to your business, as a very nice side effect, you get more traction. You start having inbound leads, which is something that is beautiful.
I tell people this all the time. If you're not in it for the long haul, you'll lose anyway against someone that is. Because there's a lot of factors that are outside of your control when it comes to business. I know people that I'm going to pay. It's just not the right time yet. The more that I see them, the more that I'm reminded that they exist, I'll probably work with them faster. But if they just fall off, I'm probably going to forget because right now it's just not a priority. I was talking to a gentleman yesterday. He's been an entrepreneur for 26 years, exited 2 companies. He wants to start growing on LinkedIn. He's like, I have to give it to you. I saw you for the first time a year ago on Clubhouse. Then I started following you on LinkedIn and Instagram. Then I joined the email list. And how many touch points has it been in a year? And now it's the right time.
Mhm.
He would have forgotten about me. He would have gone to somebody else. If you don't become consistent, have that mindset, then you're really doing a huge disservice to the people that you could serve. Because if you don't show up for them, if you don't remind them that you exist, if you don't just continue to give and give and give to them, then they'll choose somebody else when the time's right for them to, get the result that you provide.
In marketing, we know something very interesting about human psychology, that when someone is ready to purchase, the human brain always looks for the path of least resistance. So typically, what happens is you scan your memory briefly and see, okay, who do I know that offers this? Whenever you're ready, because it's proven that 70% of people who see something you offer, 70% are not ready in the moment, right? But they will be at some point, and you want to be the name that pops up when they are ready. And their lazy brain goes to you if they see you regularly and have many touch points.
Yeah. And they may never work with you. I have a call with someone later today. She was referred by a follower of mine who's been to several webinars. He's not really in a business where he can, regulations and stuff do video, but he referred her to me
Mhm.
because I'm top of mind and he associates that expertise with what I'm able to provide. And so he wants his friend to get the best chance of success. And I think the last thing is that they think that they need to always talk about what they sell. What would you say to that? Oh, I
Yeah,
get
that,
this
that that
challenge
is
all the time.
no, that is, I mean, that is a big mistake. Again, to understand this, look at yourself. Do you opt in for a infomercial voluntarily? No, nobody wants to do that. You want to have just the right balance of being entertained, being given value, and learning. Every now and then you will accept also being given information of how you can purchase, but you gotta earn that right to sell. And typically we say you give 10 times and you ask once, and I think that's a good rule of thumb.
And we are complicated. I really think that people underestimate how complicated human beings really are. And I see it in myself. There's this gentleman that I follow on social media. His brand has nothing. I'm telling you, nothing to do with candles. He lives on a farm. He just makes people laugh. But I've been following him for over a year and he has a candle line. And I was one of the first people online to buy the candle, and then I was upset because they sold out so fast. But this is just evidence because I follow him, because I like his content, because he makes me laugh, which also is a huge value. It's not just education, it's entertainment. But because I trust him, I was ready to buy the candle. And I was ready to support him and see, okay, do I even like the candle? Now, whether I repeat buy will depend on the quality of the product. That's an entirely different conversation. But the thing is, when you show up for people, they show up for you. This is just human nature. So ask yourself, as AI grows, as your competitors start to create more content, written content, images with quotes, carousel content, you want to differentiate for your prospects. You want to prove before they even pay you that you are ready and willing to show up for them and give more effort by showing up for them in video. God bless you. Ciao.